Shalom, this is Rabbi Lawrence. Parashat Kedoshim contains many of the key principles of ethical Judaism. The word kadosh means holy. Kedoshim tihiyu, we're told, we must become holy. Judaism does not hold that we are inherently sinful, defective, or flawed, so that sanctity is elusive. On the contrary, we can be, and we are charged to be holy. The commentators explain Kedoshim tihiyu as Perushim tihiyu, be separate. However, this is not a separation from society. Jewish holiness is not monastic living or a hermit's existence on a remote mountain. It is separation from excess. It is about balancing our spiritual and physical pleasures. We find kadosh, holy, at the heart of so much of our Jewish lives. We recite Kiddush on Shabbat and festivals. It is the sanctification of the holy time or holy season over wine. As we proclaim the day spiritually different, we drink alcohol. Apparently, when consumed in excess, wine has the capacity to remove our inhibitions, have us behave recklessly and even inappropriately. Liquor is the gateway to debasement and debauchery. Also, I'm told. One might think that it ought to be the last thing in the world that is used for a proclamation of sanctity. However, our proclamations of distinction between the holy and profane are made over wine. Holiness is about setting limits in our life, knowing how to enjoy and knowing when to stop. Kedoshim is the betrothal or engagement ceremony, the sanctification of a relationship. It is blessed over wine and transacted with the presentation of a ring under the chuppah. The blessing describes the separation and elevation of marriage. It's not just about cohabitation and procreation, companionship and sex. We proclaim marriage as a holy institution. It is purposeful and spiritual. As with the booze, there is much room for excess and overindulgence in sex and relationships. We must strike a balance, enjoying permitted pleasure, which is identified as holy, and eschew philandering and promiscuity, which is not. Two of our key prayers, which must be recited with a minyan, emphasizing holiness in the community, also contain the kadosh root. Kaddish is the prayer we say when broken with grief, in the commemoration of a loved one, as well as when we complete reading a passage of Mishnaic or Talmudic writing. It is not a prayer of tears nor heart-rending sorrow. The words are a prayer of celebration and magnification of God's name. When we are most acutely aware of our frailty, and sometimes angry, hurt, or desperate, Kaddish focuses our words and hopefully channels some of our emotions to the service of God, and with the Oseh Shalom Bimromav, to the betterment and peace of our daily lives. The second Kadosh prayer is the Kedusha. This is the responsive passage in the repetition of the Amidah. It is considered one of the most reverential parts of the shul service, and in the presence of the Kedusha, one is required to stop reciting whatever other private prayers and all conversations. The Kedusha is us reenacting conversations between God and the angels, using verses from the prophetic visions of Isaiah and Ezekiel. While much of our prayer emphasizes the chasm between God, infinite and omnipotent, and humanity, finite, flawed, and mortal, in the Kedusha we are engaged to assume the identity of perfect and spiritual beings. Whoever we might be almost every moment of almost every day, in the Kedusha we are uplifted and should see ourselves as pure, as pristine, and able to talk directly with God as we stand in His presence. When we recite the Kedusha, we are with the angels. We break through the glass ceiling that normally separates the terrestrial from the celestial. Though the word kadosh implies elevation and separation, its context is always engagement and connection, rather than aloof alienation. Kedoshim tihiyu, commands God, fulfill our potential to raise up and perfect our communities, to conduct ourselves with honesty, integrity, and with compassion. Holiness isn't just about our synagogues and our services and our relationship with our God. It's about our dining rooms and our bedrooms, our boardrooms, and the people we encounter every moment of every day. May we all rise to the elevated challenge. This is Rabbi Lawrence wishing you A Shabbat Shalom.